Hi, my name is Kaleigh Rasmussen and I'm a wildlife technician in the Color Country Field Office of the BLM. I work here in Cedar City and this video is Protecting Wildlife of the Color Country. Throughout my internship here, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of different animals in order to protect them and restore their natural habitat. We've had the opportunity to do lots of different projects, such as using telemetry data in order to track animals and their movement with radio collars, bird surveys, translocating prairie dogs, and habitat restoration. BLM Land is multiple use, which means that there are many different types of projects that must go on the same land. Uses like grazing, solar energy, mineral mining, and power plants are all allowed. These uses often come into conflict with what is best for the animals that we share this land with. Throughout my internship, I have learned how to study the wildlife in this area in order to ensure that other uses have the least amount of disturbance on wildlife as possible. This internship has helped me gain experience working with many different types of wildlife, which I will be able to use in my future career as an ecologist. An ecologist has to know how all the different pieces of the ecosystem work together in order to restore and maintain healthy ecosystems. Since animals are a large part of a healthy ecosystem, gaining experience working with them is invaluable. One animal that the BLM is particularly interested in is the kit fox because it is a sensitive species. This means that they are more vulnerable when disturbance does happen. Part of my job is to sort through trail camera photos in order to identify the location, amount, and ages of kit foxes on the BLM. This has given me experience sorting trail camera photos and setting up trail cameras, which will help me in many other wildlife jobs in the future. Another thing I've had the opportunity to do here is small mammal trapping. When we catch one, we identify their gender, weight, and measure the length of their body, ears, feet, and tail, which helps us to identify their species. This has given me experience using Sherman box traps and handling many different types of small mammals. One thing that we spend a lot of our time doing is wildlife clearances. This needs to be done when there is an area on BLM land where all the pinyon and juniper trees are cleared in order to reduce fuels for wildfires or create more habitat for a specific animal. We mark every nest, plant, invasive, and animal we see in order to show the biodiversity of the area and determine which areas cannot be cleared. This helped me to learn to identify many different types of plants, scat, tracks, and birds, which helps with my educational goal of learning all that I can about the ecology of the Southwest. Knowing the intricacies of ecological systems like these will help me further my career in ecology. In the future, I'd like to work with raptors and gain experience handling them. This position has shown me how much I love birds, and I'd also like to learn about methods of trapping birds of prey. One thing that I've chosen to do at this internship is trying to capture photos of as many birds as I can. This has helped me share my passion for birds with many people, and in the future I'd like to use all of my photos on a website to help educate people about the birds that I love. My favorite thing that we have had the opportunity to do at this internship was collaring ravens. In order to collar the ravens, we take the fledglings out of the nest that are adult size but cannot yet fly. First, we take the raven out of the tree and put it in a pillowcase. Next, we measure their foot, wing, and weight in order to ensure they are big enough to collar. Then, they get their little backpacks and they're ready to go back in the nest. This data will track raven movement across sage-grouse habitat to better understand the relationship between sage-grouse and raven predation and human disturbance. Utah prairie dogs are another big part of our job. As a threatened species at the bottom of the food chain, they need a lot of help in order to survive. This year, we've been working on transferring prairie dogs from areas of high density to low density to evade plague events. The first step of translocating them is building them some new homes. To do this, we put tubing and boxes into the ground, then recover them. Next, we trap the prairie dogs and put tags and collars on them. After that, they are ready to go to their new home where we track survival rates with different variables. This research will then show what the best way is to relocate the Utah prairie dog. Helping the prairie dogs helps all the animals who eat them, such as coyotes, raptors, and kit foxes. It's important to the ecology of the area and important work towards delisting them as a threatened species. This internship has given me the opportunity to work with so many different types of animals that all have their own special place in the ecosystem. I have loved getting to work with them in order to restore a better landscape for all. The animals that we share this earth with are so important, and it's so fulfilling to me to have a job that works towards giving back to them. I'd like to thank my mentors, Derek and Dustin, and everyone at the IIC team for providing me with this opportunity. I'd also like to thank my coworkers, Sydney, Brittany, and Carly, for taking a lot of these videos.